Hey Hodies, welcome back to my channel. My name is hautemesstom and thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Today we're going to be doing a Let's Play with Makeup, a classic. I have things that I would like to just continue playing with and getting to know today. We're going to dive into the Kackie and Fighting Ferdinand collection again. We're going to play with the corals. The message has been received. In that video you were all like, coral looks really good on you. And I was like, okay, great. We'll just play with corals today. We'll do like a coral look. I don't want to call it the strawberry girl look. You know, like I don't care about tomatoes. I don't care about produce, if I'm being quite honest. I like tomato sauce, but like a physical tomato, I've never like once like crunched into a tomato. I know that's some people's gig and I'm not trying to yuck your yum, but like I'm not really anti-produce, farmers who watch. I just am like, you know, like I'm like, can it be like the devil girl look, you know, red, you know. Today we're going to be doing a devil girl. So we're going to keep it breezy and bronzy. I have some updated feelings on some things, so we'll just progress through. But if you happen to be new to my channel is mostly about loving my makeup collection as it currently is, being critical and discerning about new makeup releases, about what's allowed in my collection, being critical of marketing. So that kind of content sounds good to you. I would love to have you subscribe. Make sure you like this video. I'm on patreon.com if you're into that sort of thing. Patreon.com/hautemesstom. I do additional content there. And my podcast with Kackie actually exists also there. So join for whatever reason you want, or don't join. There's no pressure. It's fine if you're just watching and commenting and liking and sharing. They're all wonderful things, and it's a really good way to support me. So there's no hierarchy of best ways to support me. I also have merch. It's down below. I think I'm ready to do my Surat video. There's just a couple more things that I have to film B-roll for, and then I think we'll be good. I'm almost done with my Chanel Sublimage Le Temps video. That's two things I've been working on for quite some time. That I'm ready to wrap them up. I'm ready to do that. For us, for you, mostly for me, if I'm being quite honest with you. My desk has been awry. My vanity has been like awry. Someone was very kind enough to give me a friends and family discount from Sephora. And I'm thinking about maybe buying some stuff for my next full brand review. I bought some more stuff for the contour video. So I think all that I'm waiting for is for Crave to come back in stock. Waiting for Carve to come back in stock from Hindash. So, but like, I don't know when that's going to happen. So we might just have to proceed without it because I've been cycling through the contours so far. And so I'm pretty sure of the ones that I have, which ones I like the best. However, 2 additional ones arrived in the mail today, and it's Sunday, so that was confusing. But I bought the Oma Double Take Freed Contour Stick in White Pearl, so I have that. We could use that today. But I also have another contour that I haven't talked about on camera. I've talked about it on camera. I haven't shown you me using it yet. So here's the Oma. Ooh. Yeah, it's very similar to the Westman Atelier packaging. It's not as weighted. It's not exactly the same, but it does have like a magnetic top. Like the Westman Atelier is like much more weighted, but this is really top heavy and this seems more evenly balanced. But yeah, this definitely feels more luxe than this, but it looks the part, you know? And sometimes that's just half the battle. And then I bought this from Essence because my subscriber, Emily, said that she was watching Jessica Braun, who was talking about these, and Jessica said that it was really gray. And it's supposed to be a bronzer. So the baby got bronze, and this is what it looks like. Maybe we'll swatch some of those when we get to contouring. I have so much stuff on this desk right now. I'm almost out of this. I can tell I've been wearing makeup more. If you haven't noticed, and maybe you haven't, it's okay if you haven't. I've been posting every day. Not obviously these types of videos, but I've been posting every day. It goes long form, short form, long form, short form. And then I do 2 short form videos in a row. Because I've been trying to post Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturdays. It's so interesting. I moved my days because my Friday videos were just tanking. Even though whenever I asked, most people voted that they didn't want Saturday videos. However, my views on my Saturday videos are almost always higher than the ones that I post on the weekdays. I don't know what the truth is, and I'm not accusing you of not watching them on Fridays. Algorithmically, the algorithm seems to like my videos better on Saturday. I don't know what it is. Couldn't tell you why. But then also I've noticed that Kelly and Kackie, they changed their Friday videos to a different day too. We were all posting Monday, Wednesday, Friday because I know this because I pay attention, because whenever you're aware of like who else watches your channel, like what other channels people watch that also watch yours. Not that I'm gonna step on either one of their toes in a very real way, but you know, like for me, I pay attention. So it's like, I don't want to post the same time as Kackie because most people are going to click on Kackie. Now, some of you are very kind and said that you would watch my videos first and that I'm like your go-to, and I really appreciate that. But I'm talking about like larger scheme. Anyway, so now we're all posting Tuesdays and Thursdays together. It's interesting. Ooh, I'm going to put this on my lips while I guess this is kind of corally. Shade Slick and Maraschino. I think I'm just going to use this as a lip balm. I don't know. I think what I want from it is not what it was designed to do. To me, that's like, it's like a little bit of a color, but it doesn't look like I think it should look. Let me tell you, Merritt, what this should have been. It should make my lips look like I just had a cherry popsicle. That's what I want it to look like. That's what I want from a product called Maraschino, and that is this color in the tube. Now, this is really wearable. This is pretty. Is it Maraschino? I think Maraschino. Oh my god, what is my hair doing? It's because I was just sweating, and then I tried to put more product in it to fix it, and that seemed to only exacerbate my feelings on the hair, which is not great. My eye shallots, my eye shallots. My eyeshadow palettes are currently in purgatory, most of them. But I did try to think if I had like an eyeshadow palette that was coral, and I actually like did, but it's not intact anymore, so it's like in both of my big palettes. So I have the Natasha Denona Coral palette. I couldn't even tell you which of these neutrals, because I think it was definitely like, or maybe there was only one, and it might have been that one there. So I thought about that, but then I was like, I have this neon coral, which like kind of, you know, that's like where we're headed. Let's talk about why you probably really like the way that coral looked on me. It makes sense that you like the coral because I have green eyes, and red tones, even if they are more yellow, red is on the opposite side of the color wheel of green, red and green, Christmas. But because I have those like red tones near my eye, it makes my eyes look more green, and then the green makes the coral look more coral. So it's like they really complement each other. I don't think my skin tone is like built for coral, just like this is my skin tone. We'll see. I'm not too stressed. I don't want to do anything too complicated. The only thing about these big palettes is they're really nice to store things, but to put on your vanity and use them, I mean, I just knocked something over. So that's where we're at. Let me also tell you, everyone should be proud of me. I would like a round of applause. If I don't see applause emojis in the chat, in the comment section, we've all failed. I did wash my brushes. It took me longer than I wanted it to, because I think I said I wanted to do it last week. I did it last night. Last night was Saturday. It's Sunday as I film this. Again, I don't know why USPS was delivering to me on a Sunday. I did not enact any favors to make that happen. I'm not quite sure. They just knew that I needed those. I didn't need them today. I haven't decided which contour I'm going to use today, because I was going to show you one I don't like today, but I think we'll be okay with this look. But then I got 2 new ones, and now I'm like excited about the new ones. You know, it really just threw a wrench into my decision making. And you know what's so funny is I checked the tracking this morning and it said arriving today, and it didn't say out for delivery, and I was like, there's no way. There's no way. UPS, I don't even think they deliver on Sunday. I really don't know. I don't know what's going on, but we're going to count it as a blessing. This is personal news. You can be excited for me, but if you're not, well, you're on the wrong side of history, but also you should be happy for me. Actually, you should be happy for me. My friend, her name's Erin. She moved to Pittsburgh. She moved in on Friday. I haven't seen her yet. I'm seeing her this weekend. That's my motivation to live. Erin and I have been friends for over a decade now. Now, we're the kind of friends where we live in different places, and then we maybe talk once a year because we live in different places, and then we talk for like 4 hours, and then we don't really talk until we talk again. But now she'll be here, and I think I was recently talking about how I need to have more friends to hang out with. She's going to be right here. So we went to college together one of my years, and we had like an introduction to communications class together. She was a comm minor, but we had this class together, and we had the craziest teacher, and we had a couple classes together, and all the teachers, maybe some of the craziest that I had in my college career at the same school. And so I'm not going to name the school, and I'm not going to name the teachers, because the likelihood of someone here knowing them seems oddly high, because I have a lot of people in my comments more recently going, I'm from Pittsburgh, and which is great. Love that. But it's also like, we gotta respect some people's privacy. We trauma bonded in these comm classes. Something about religion came up in our class, and I was like, I remember saying something just really wretched about religion. Listen, you're allowed to practice whatever religion you like. So, and I was also, you know, in my early 20s, I made some joke about, you know, being you know, just anti-religion. And she turned around and said, hello, I'd like to be your friend. And we've been friends ever since. We both lived in Pittsburgh. And then we both lived in Chicago at the same time. She lived in Chicago for a lot longer than I did. That was in 2013. I lived in Chicago last. I think I would like to live in Chicago again. I would like to make that happen. I would love to live in Chicago again. I miss it. We're done with mattes. I think I just need to pick a shimmer and call it a day on this eye look. I might, maybe we'll do something deep on the outside, but I don't know. I'm gonna take that shade that I think is from the Coral palette. I'm just gonna slap it on my lids with my finger. Yeah, that's cute. This might be from the Sunset palette too. I can't wait to see my little baby on Saturday. I know Erin's not watching this, but in case she happens to watch this video, I know it's Saturday. It's on Saturday because I have a hair appointment and get my hair cut and see my friend. I have this Lethal color from the Lethal is Dead palette. Is that the right one? The first one. The first Lethal and Teresa collab. I have a shade from that I think would be good for the inner corner. It's more pinky, but I think, yeah. I just, you know, that worked. It's a pretty highlight shade. We might have to go into my custom Pat McGrath palette. I think we need a topper. This doesn't feel right. We need some sparkle. My custom Pat McGrath palette. Let's do some of this one that has a little bit of green in it. I'm gonna get a super fluffy brush. I'm gonna get a little bit of the tip there because again, remember pink, green, remember red, green, opposite sides of the color wheel. Green and orange also look really good together. I'm leaning over as to not get glitter all over my face. I'm trying to prevent a little bit of fallout. I mean, I always do my eyes first for a reason, but there we go. Ooh. That was the right move. I'm gonna need a little bit of tape. I know that my tape has been on the floor. Is it still on the floor? It is still on the floor. You know, organization is what you make it. Organization doesn't have to look like it looks like for other people, for you. I need to be the one to tell you that because I need to be the one who tells myself that. Because should the tape be on the floor? No. No, should it be in one of my drawers? But I knew where it was. Since we are leaning into the coral of it all, I'm going to be using my Victoria Beckham Golden Cell Rejuvenating Primer, you know, to warm up the... What the heck? What is that? What do you think that is? Do you see that brown spot? What do you think that is? I didn't ask for that. That's not what I wanted. I almost used my regular one. I am trying to use it up, but I also am savoring it because I don't want it to go away. For foundation, what am I doing? What am I doing for foundation? We'll use this. This is the Surreal Skin Foundation from Surratt. I've been liking this a lot more since I removed the thing. It went from being a foundation that I was like, don't buy this, it's not worth the money, to a foundation where I'm like, it is worth the money, but it's in really stupid packaging. That's like a little bit of a spoiler. I mean, I'm not gonna get too into it, but like, it's a beautiful foundation. It limits itself, meaning the brand limits it from putting it in just such a dumb packaging. It's so dumb. Do you have any friends like that? If you like, you don't talk to them all the time, but you consider them like a very, very dear friend. But even though like you don't even talk to them, you know, as much as you quote unquote should. On Friday, I was talking to my friend Ben, who I also haven't talked to in many moons. And we were like, we should try to talk more. I think there's an interesting shift happening. Being a millennial. Let me get an op-ed going here. Maybe you'll feel this way too if you are a millennial who grew up before technology is what it is, you know? Like, because I know that some of like younger millennials kind of grew up with technology in a way that I didn't, but I grew up with the internet. Whenever like I started becoming like someone who was able to text, had the ability to text, like my dad had texting, I never stopped texting. I was always texting, always texting, always texting. And now I cannot be bothered to just send a text message unless I have to. Responding to a text message, no, I don't want to do it most of the time. I do. Like, especially like with my friends that I've curated at a distance, right? Like I text Kackie because that is like how I mostly communicate with Kackie, but also Kackie and I talk once a week in real time. The person I texted the most was Tiffany before we lived together, and now they live here, and I just wait for them to come home and we can talk about whatever. I send them funny things maybe throughout the day if I find something that's worth noting. And I think they do the same thing. Like they'll send me, you know, pictures of the child at daycare, being like, here's what the child is doing at daycare, which is like a lot of fun. But like for the most part, we just like talk in real life. I can't be bothered. And I think it's because I was on my phone so much for such a long time. I don't want to say that I'm like not on my phone. Like, I just, like, don't text. I use my phone to communicate personally less and use it to communicate publicly more on Instagram, or if I post on my community tab, or like, you know, I just mostly use it to like watch content, whether it's on YouTube or if I'm scrolling through TikToks. But like even then, I just feel like I don't like being on my phone as much as I do. And it's not in a resentment way, because I do think that some people have swung really hard the other way. It's like, I never want to use my phone. And I absolutely respect and understand that. But it's just like, I just don't commute. Like, also, what warrants a text to someone you don't talk to every day? What I'm about to say is ultimately a good thing. I'm very content and like at peace with where my life is right now in a way that I have never been before. I try really hard to keep myself out of trouble, and I might be doing that too much, by the way. Like, I'm not saying that this is like a perfect thing. However, if I'm keeping myself out of trouble and I have my head on straight a little bit and like everything's good and I don't have a lot to complain about because my living situation is really good, and you know, everything's really, I'm like just at peace with a lot of things. Now I'm still working really hard to progress in certain aspects of my life, but like ultimately, like I don't have a lot to stress about right now, which is great. But also whenever like you don't have a lot to stress about, it's like, what do you talk about? What am I talking about? Like, what do I talk about? So like, what warrants me texting Ben, today I woke up, today I went to work successfully, didn't cry? I don't know. What do you guys talk about with your friends? Tell me, help me. Someone asked about this on my Instagram. I hope you're watching this, because I'm talking about this because you asked. I was like, I talked about them a lot recently. The Surratt Dewdrop concealers. I'm coming around to them. I think they're really good. They look really good on the under eyes. And I don't think that they should. They're a confusing formula. And it's interesting because most of Surratt products feel effortless to me. But this feels really try-hard. Now, the packaging always feels try-hard, but something about this formula feels try-hard. And for some reason, my brain wants me to go, I don't like that. But it looks good. It looks good. It looks good. Now, I started mixing the two shades together. And so that's what I'll do. So I'll do a dot of each, and then I will just like kind of blend it out. I've been liking the way it looks. You're going to like the way you look. No, I'm not sure. Do you know that commercial? You're gonna like the way you look. Is that what the commercial is? You're gonna like the... Is that like Fantastic Sam's? Anyway, I do need to do some testing to see if I like it better than my other concealer. I'm having a bit of conundrum when it comes to concealers. I only had one concealer for a while, and I really liked it because I felt like I was making progress on it. I was moving through it, and then I got the Givenchy concealer because it was time for me to get a new concealer. It was like, you know, that concealer was old. I talked about it at the time. So I kept the Givenchy concealer, and then I've been trying essentially 3 concealers that Surratt sent me that I like a lot, and I would like to keep them. Do I like them more than the Givenchy? Because the Givenchy is still price per ounce. I still think it's just like a better, you know, overall thing, but like for my personal use, you know, I can kind of do whatever I want at this point, right? Like, I've been afforded the opportunity to get this in PR, and if it's like, if I want to keep using it, I'm gonna keep using it. But it's like, then do I keep the Givenchy at all? But I really like the Givenchy as a foundation, and it has enough product in it. I can do that. And so, to reiterate here, I have shades 1 and 2. 2 is probably, like, if I was to buy one, would be the one that I would buy. Since I have 2 and I can mix them, I am. But I know that that's not reasonable to ask you as a consumer who would be purchasing them to buy 2 shades. Unless you really are into it, or you always buy 2 shades. But here's the thing. I know that these are not cheap concealers. All that effort to not get fallout. And I have learned that I do prefer these blended out with a brush. Also, my brushes are clean, so they're all working, you know, even better than they have been. But like, let me get you zoomed in on how these look. I find creasing to be minimal. I find that there is no perfect under eye concealer for me. I think this feels lighter under the eyes to me than the Givenchy. It looks like skin. You know, like it looks really good. I need to like blend it out a little bit. The shade range is like the big problem when it comes to this concealer. There's only 10 shades. So you either have to match one, which like, again, if I were to match one to myself and I was like, that's the best match, it would be shade 2. I'm gonna add a little more foundation. My cheeks are still a little rosier than I'd like them. It's probably because I'm like hot. Like, I'm not sweating anymore, but I am a little bit toasty. And I think it's showing. But they wear really well. I've worn them like all day before. It does look good even at the end of the day. And so, I mean, like the Givenchy does too, but like, I think this one feels even lighter to me on the skin than that one, because they kind of almost feel like nothing. Let's move along to contour. Okay, so what I was going to talk about initially was this Danessa Myricks Contour Balm. I have the shade Light. Now, there is a shade lighter than this. Now, online, the lighter shade looked more yellow. This one looks like barf. I'm not gonna lie, it looks like barf. It's not like any contour color I've seen before. It looks like barf. I don't like it's a bad formula. It's one of those things that like needs to be warmed up, but then the payoff isn't really that nice even whenever you get it to like work, and it just like makes everything look muddy. It's not my favorite. It's not my favorite. It's not my favorite. And I was gonna apply it today, but then I also have these. Let's just swatch them. So there's the three of them swatched. I like blended out the one half, but left the one half intact. Like my hands are hairy, so they didn't apply like the most smoothly. So I would say that like this is the Oma one. I would say that that's like when I think of like contour colors in the mass market, that's like a contour shade. That's the Essence bronzer. It's almost purple, like if you get into it. But it's like decidedly much darker than Intuition, which is another thing that I'm testing for the contour video. And then there's the Danessa Myricks. It looks like baby poop. I don't know how I don't know. Look at that. Let's try the Oma one. I'd like to try the Oma one because I know it's Kackie's favorite. I have been also testing the Westman Atelier stick, in Biscuit. I don't actually like it. I don't hate it. It's not giving like what I want out of a contour. And I think that this might be pretty close to that shade. I'm gonna be brave and bold. I'm just gonna swipe this on the face. I have been nose contouring while I've been testing contours, just to see how easy it is. I think that the contour video is I'm gonna have like several different scales that I'll be rating everything on, like blendability, gray tones, you know, like I think that, but also like nose contour ability. I would say blend it out just as easily as the Victoria Beckham one I have. It goes a really long way. I'm blending it out on my neck, and it just keeps keeps going. I almost feel like it blends out maybe a little too far. Like it has like a little, it's like too much spread. It blends really nicely, but it's like, it just kind of keeps going. It kept going down my neck instead of just kind of like staying a little more concentrated. And I think if it were like a bronzer, ooh, if this was like a blush formula, I don't know, there's something about it. It's not a bad color. It's certainly more like contour with a hint of bronzer rather than just like a contour, but like, I like the way my skin looks. I think there's maybe just a little bit of a learning curve to it. I might like this one better applied with a brush instead of applying it directly to the skin, but I'm just gonna finish the way I started. I'm also really thankful that Oma decided to do this and separate it from the highlighter at this juncture, because many people, whenever I said I was doing a cream contour video, wanted me to do this. And one of my rules for the cream contour video is that I wasn't looking for anything that had additional products in it. So nothing with a duo. All that a duo is a face palette by another name. And here's what I mean by that. I will inevitably either like the highlight or the contour more than the other, and I probably won't like the other one enough to want to keep it around. And so then I just have this thing that I use one side of, and I don't want that. That's why I try to have as many things not in palette form besides eyeshadows, which is like, even then I think right now I'm moving away from the idea of like a fully realized palette. This does blend it blends too far. Like it's like I keep blending and then it keeps spreading. Like it has no stop. It just wants to keep going. It's an interesting problem to have. I don't even know if I want to call it a problem, but like it just keeps going. That leads me to believe that I'm applying too much. So I will apply it with a brush next time. I think it does blend out really nicely, but it's also just like like if I would have just kept using the brush that I was blending it out with, it would just cover my whole face in contour. The Oma contour needs some more testing from me, but I kind of like interacting with it. It's nice. It's nice. Again, it's not Westman Atelier heavy. I was curious about that. Like, look at how much product is still on this brush. I'm just gonna wipe it on my hand. My hand's gonna be a different color. This is solely to demo and show you like how much this would go, and for no reason beyond that. If a product isn't a stick, it feels like it's designed to be drawn onto your face. But if drawing it onto your face releases too much product, maybe it should have been in a compact. Anyway, I'm still playing with it, but see? it keeps going down the inside of my arm too. I was blending it out with this. All right. I don't know how I feel about that. Let's come back to these for a second because I've had some more time with them. I've applied them quite a few times. I'm loving them. I'm loving them. Today we're gonna apply, this is the one that I haven't applied by itself yet. This is shade 3 Golden Warmth because, you know, we're doing a lot of warm colors on my face. I figured that this would be the appropriate way to go. So this is shade 3 Golden Warmth, the second lightest golden shade. They look so good on the skin, just so stunning on the skin. And also, if you have been wondering about like which shades I've liked the most, Rosy Daybreak, which is the lightest rosy shade, is my favorite. Now that I'm applying this, I like this one more as a yellow shade, as the warm yellow shade, as opposed to Golden Daybreak. I'm not saying that this is more natural looking on my skin. I think the depth that's added to this shade, I like it more as a bronzer as opposed to the lighter one. I do have, you know, neutral leaning a little bit pink skin. So I think that's why Rosy Daybreak is like the best shade for me. Rosy Warmth also works on me, but like it doesn't have the same like ease. It doesn't look bad on me. And it's definitely like wearable for me. But like this one feels like the true bronzer. Golden Warmth feels like what I would traditionally think that a bronzer looks like on me, like cosmetically a bronzer. And Rosy Daybreak is like the most natural looking, slight hint of sun kind of thing. And I think both could warrant a place in my collection, but I've kind of decided truly that Golden Daybreak is probably definitely not going to get to stick around in my collection. I want to play with Rosy Warmth a little bit more, so like the second latest rosy shade. But Rosy Daybreak, I feel like, is a shoe-in, and I also feel like this would be like a shoe-in for me to keep. Now, this is a little bit close to some other bronzers I have in different formats, so it would come down to which one I would want to keep in that scenario. And it might be a case of like, they both look really beautiful, but like I want to keep different formulas on hand just for myself, you know? But if this one happens to be the best, then I'm just going to simply keep the best. But like, look at that. Looks really beautiful. I feel like it saved the contour. I'm not going to lie to you, I think it did. Okay, let's play with some more of these blushes. These are the Summer Abroad blushes from Kackie and Finding Ferdinand. And I'm going to play with the corals today. I think I'm only going to use Paloma. I'm going to start with Paloma and then I might add a little bit of spritz. I only use them one time. They're so balmy. Is that going to come off my brush? Whenever I'm done, like if I wipe it off, it does. But it just was like, I was curious about it. There's Paloma. Linda from Glitter Fallout said, you should always be wearing Paloma. And you know what? I'm inclined to believe Linda. I'm going to listen to what she says to me. I'll follow in her light blindly. She knows what she's talking about. That was just like one dip into the blush. It goes a long way. It does. It just want to keeps blending like a liquid. Should I do the thing? Should I take it a little bit over my nose? I don't have too much product left, but I don't do that often. I don't know. I hate it. Actually, no, I hate it. I hate it. Not the color, just that technique. It looks so cute on other people, and then I feel like I tried, I'm like, ooh. No, Kackie keeps using that freckle pen. Everyone keeps using that freckle pen from, I think it was Rudy Berry. I think I need to try it. Do you think I would look cute with freckles? I think I would. Should we do a little bit of spritz? I'm gonna focus it further back. Like right there. They are really pretty. You know what? Shut up. You shut up. I'll shut up. No, you shut up. Maybe this is the color I should lean into. I look good. Bitch, I look good. Don't I look stupendous? My shine is so endless. Chip the whip. You have to. You must. For highlight, I'm going to use this. I'm going to use this. It's this. Ooh, I didn't get to apply highlight last time. Oop. She's looking juicy. Baby, I am plump and ripe. Pinker than shepherd's delight. Sweet like honeysuckle. Late at night. The real ones know. My favorite comment on my last video. I sang a little of Breathe On Me by Britney Spears in that video. Britney didn't have to do all that for us, but she did. Breathe On Me? Disrespected in the population at large. One of her best, I would say. Someone said, I knew you were a real one, but now I know for sure you're a real one because you sang Breathe On. What if I just kept talking in song quotes? Because I could. First things first, I'm the realist. And I'm still in the murder business. I can hold you down like I'm giving lessons in physics, right? But ace, cup of goose, cup of like we bringing it back. That's not the eyeliner I want. I want a different eyeliner. Let's finish up the eyes. I'm going to use the Kulfi liner in Tiger Queen to tightline. And I might do a little on top, like maybe buff it out a little bit. Give it a little bit of a wing moment. Just like a cute little wing. The other day I was filming, and it was a rare day where I had to film and post, film and edit on the same day. And I had in my hands my mascara. It was already out of the tube. I don't know what I did, but I just went like I don't know what I was trying to do, like to get it in my hand easier, but I was already like up to my face. I just like smacked my face. And I was really emotional about it. I did send a picture to Tiffany with just all of it smeared on my eye. It was a hard day in the hautemess house, the house of mess. I've been disrespecting this eyeliner. The Kulfi eyeliners are really good. They're really good. I keep wanting to try their concealer. They're kind of one of those brands where like I'm always interested in what they're doing. These eyeliners are really good. I still like the Victoria Beckham ones more, but Kulfi has some more really nuanced shades, and I think Tiger Queen they're just their best shade. Wow. I'm gonna powder because I forgot. Let me powder a little bit. Oh, this happened in the Kackie video when I was off camera. I've almost had this powder for a year. It's so funny because everyone else with oily skin, I don't know, I feel like everyone else runs through powder so much faster than me. Maybe because people actually touch up and I just simply can't be fucked. Last night I made myself an old fashioned and I had just eaten dinner. I'd like just eaten dinner. So food in my stomach, and I don't normally participate in like drinking like at home. No judgment to those who do, but it's not something I normally do. But like, Tiffany and I were just like hanging out and we were just watching TV and I drank this old fashioned over, the course of like a half hour or so. And I was absolutely wasted. I was sitting there and then I don't know how much time had passed, but Tiffany asked me a question and I heard them, but I did not hear them. I was like, are they talking to me? So I had to ask them to repeat the question. And I told them, I was like, I'm drunk right now. I'm absolutely drunk right now. Anyway, apparently I have zero tolerance for alcohol at this point, and that's fine. I was like, oh, I would love to have a drink this weekend. I was gonna make myself a little drink. And we don't have like a plethora of alcohol in the house. I was like, ooh, whiskey. And I love an old fashioned. I don't know what happened, but it wasn't great. And then I went to bed at 8:30. But, fun fact, while I was drunk, and Tiffany went to go pick up the child, I cleaned my brushes. I still went to bed early, but I got things done. I'm gonna spray my face now. Ooh. I'm going to be using the Surratt Releve mascara because we are kind of getting close to the 3-month mark on it. And I'm also, finalizing my thoughts on the Surratt products. Some things I have recently changed my mind on. Some of it you will have already heard. But big reviews like that are just specifically for our brand. They're like definitely for people who are just like looking for info. Okay, I'm gonna wipe off this thing and then I'm gonna put on another thing. The first thing I'm gonna put on is the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Honey Lip Cheat, and we're gonna apply the Limoncello lip gloss from Kackie's collection over top of it. Because this has a little bit of red in it, and I just think that the lip gloss is gonna look really pretty over this. Let's apply this. I hope you guys like that scent as much as I do. Man, it's really pretty. It's a really pretty scent. Ugh. Sometimes I'm really smart when I say things. And I say, these two things should go together. Here's the final look. Did this do it for you? Did it do it for you? You wanted it. You wanted it and now you have it. Just a reminder, Kackie's Summer Abroad collection is currently in pre-order because it sold out at its initial launch. I have a promo code and an affiliate link should you want to purchase anything from the collection. You're welcome to. You don't have to. I'm always promoting buy what you will use, what's in your means, and what will add value to your collection. And if Kackie's collection doesn't do any of that, You don't need it. You don't need it. I'm happy to have it and play with it, but you know how I feel about these things. Anyway, that wraps up the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you are new and aren't subscribed already, I would love to have you subscribe. Patreon.com/hautemesstom if you're into that sort of thing, but there's no pressure to. Merch, like, comment, subscribe, blah, 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 blah. YouTuber, I'm a YouTuber, blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. Anyway, remember to follow your haute, and you will find me a friend.